Well, hello. Who is entered? I see numbers, but I don't see no typing. Well, hey, Sharon. Hey, retired. Oh, I love Tennessee. I got to go to, hey, Tia Sue, my West Virginia sister. I got to go to Dollywood. We stayed in Gatlinburg and stuff. Oh, it was so nice. It was beautiful down there. I'm just sitting here relaxing. Does my show widescreen or is it short? I tried to turn my phone around because I know the first two lives I did was like up and down and I was like little. My dog is snoring beside me. So if you hear odd sounds, that's who it is. Yay! I'm glad it's full screen. I remember when I first started YouTube, I had it up and down, and it was hysterical because somebody came in on my comments and said, if you turn your phone sideways. And I was like, oh yeah, duh. But I love it when people give you little tips in your comments anonymously sometimes. It's too cute. I never knew who did that. They come under a hider name. Well, hey, Mr. Booty. Yeah, they come in under a hider name and they left a tip and I'm like, I just wished I knew who it was. Yes, Mr. Booty. I can't believe my dog snores. She's beside me just... Look at this. What a life. I'm talking about you, Roni. She's like, I'm stretching. She's a spoiled puppy. She's hysterical. Listen to that. What kind of snore is that? You hear her? Can you guys hear her? Let him hear you snore. Put your head down. You're on YouTube. She's hysterical. She gets really loud when she snores. And she just turned a year old, but I'm getting ready to do a puppy DNA. I guess they have DNA tests for your pets. Like they do the ancestry DNA. I got her off of no, I haven't seen it yet. I got her off of Facebook. There was a guy offering puppies for I think it was like $75 a piece, and I only took $70 with me, so he let me slide because of the shots and everything. He took them all to the vet. But I just fell in love with her. I saw her cute little picture being held up, and he showed me a picture of her mom. And her mom is a full-blooded gator pit bull. I had never heard of a gator pit bull. And her dad, he said, was part German Shepherd and part red pit bull. And I said, well, she looks like a black lab. So, I think there's a little mix up there because I think she has black lab in her. Everybody that sees her says, your black lab is so cute. I said, that's what I thought because I used to have a black lab a long time ago. And I'm going to do an ancestry test. I'm going to prove him wrong. He's on my Facebook, so I'm going to say, no black lab, huh? But you can see the German Shepherd in her flanks. She's got like a brown look. And I definitely see the gator pit bull in her teeth. And I could see the pit bull in her face a little bit. But I love a mix. Because to me, they're not as hyper. She's very calm. She only turned a year old in December. She should have seen me potty training her. I had only done that one other time. House training. And all I have to say is, I was exhausted. It was like having a new baby. Every hour on the hour, I would take her outside to go to the bathroom. And her first vet appointment was hysterical because I was so tired I had my shirt on backwards and inside out and did not realize it till I got home. And I can't believe the vet office never noticed or said anything. That's how tired I was. But she learned. I mean, she had 5 pee accidents in the house. Thank God not on the carpet because we have a lot of wood flooring. And she did good. She had 5 little accidents and then she was trained. Well, hey, Glitch. You're going to see some moderators pop in. You're going to be surprised. Glitch, you got a wrench. I still wish they looked like paddles, though. I've been on some live streams here lately, and trust me, the trolls are very bad. They're coming out in comments terribly. They're coming out on live streams. Oh, you're welcome. And thank you, Glitz. I trust you to hammer them trolls. I had 4 people, I think, that I picked so far to moderate. But yeah, they've been coming out really something else on some of the streams and stuff, and it was funny. That's just like, I had somebody comment under one of my makeup tutorials a long time ago. It's been a little while ago. And they were like something about, you put on Fenty primer and you put something else over top of it. And they were making fun of how I did my makeup. I'm like, listen, the tutorial itself, if they would have been paying attention, wasn't about makeup in the first place. The tutorial was actually about Dermadab, which was a company that sent it's like an app you download to your phone called 0.8L. And I was actually testing a product underneath of the makeup. So they didn't even know what they were talking about in the comment section. Because it wasn't even about the makeup that I did that for. Sephora did a makeover on me. And they put Kat Von D. This is funny how this story happened. I had never had a makeover done before. So I went into Sephora because I had enough points and I earned a freebie. So when they did it, they asked me what kind of foundation I wanted to try. And I said, well, the Kat Von D, because I knew it was full coverage. Well, a lot of people were complaining about the Kat Von D being real thick, but I like finding out stuff for myself. So when they put it on, I didn't realize it because the lighting was really low in the store. So I come out of the store and I took a picture of it when I was in my car. Because, you know, your lighting, some people can really put on some freakish makeup, but you're not going to see the true effects till you walk outside. So I did a selfie to look at the foundation, and I noticed I had fine lines right through here. Of course, I'm in my 50s. I'm going to have something. And I had them here and here. Well, the Kat Von D laid into it to show me they were there. I had never paid attention. So it was funny because I downloaded this app some girl was telling me about. It's called 0.8L. And you pay $3.99 for basically the shipping, or you can pick stuff for free. Plus, they have products on that app. It's full price. And the ones that you try for free, or you pay the $3.99, you give them back. I use my Instagram to do it. But you copy and paste this piece, and you put it in, and it kind of guess it takes it, because it's got the hashtags in front of it. It must take it to Twitter or something. But you copy and paste that in and you do a review on the product for them. That's why you get it for free and stuff. So I have it in my bathroom. It's called Dermadab or something like that. They sell it through a company in the United States, but it's through Amazon. So the whole thing about the product was they wanted a review in like a week. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but it's not going to disappear in a week. When you use a product like retinol, you can even Google it and it'll tell you it takes 6 to 8 weeks for a product like that to work. So I had, you know, it was good stuff, but of course the fine lines weren't gone yet, so I had to take it incomplete. So what I had done was I told the company, because they added me, and I told, you know, on Instagram, thank you. So I told the company when they added me that I would continue to use their product and do a thorough real, because I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to lie about stuff. I just think it's crazy to lie about something. I mean, if I'm going to represent a product, I want it to be as honest as possible. So I told them I'd go ahead and finish, and they were like, okay. So I gave it the thorough 6 to 8 weeks, and finally I did a before a picture of the, I still had the first one, and I did the second one, and I actually got the Kat Von D foundation to review it the second time too, since that's why I found the fine lines in the first place. It blew me away. Seriously. This stuff was so good after using it 6 to 8 weeks, and all you had to do was dab it where your fine lines were. You couldn't even tell I had them the second picture. So I'm yet to post it to the company. I have it because they knew I was going to continue, but I can't find the envelope. She gave me her Gmail because they send you a note and it said, "Dear Tammy, thanks for picking our product and this and that." So I haven't had a chance. I can't find the envelope to send her the before and after picture to tell them, once it's been tested thoroughly, the product really does work. So that's what the video was on. And somebody left a nasty comment about the primer I use, the powder I use, and the foundation I use. I'm thinking that's not even what the video was about in the comment section. I'm like, whatever. People do some weird stuff. They don't even pay attention to what your content is. They just want to get a negative, comment out there. But I thought that was funny. But I don't know. You have that. But I was really shocked over this product. And you get like a little bottle, but that lasts a long way. I know, Glitz. I mean, I don't say names. I just delete them off the comment thread because they're stupid and foolish anyways. But people have been really getting hit recently. People have been really coming into live streams saying, come to my live stream. And like I told this one guy last time I had the live, at least you could say after mine's done. I mean, you know how rude it is to come into somebody's live stream and say, oh, by the way, you can all come to my live stream right now, like they're trying to steal your people. And it's like, I don't care if somebody spams something, but you could wait at least until their live stream's done. I let a lot roll off my shoulders, Glitz, because, I mean, like I told Mr. Booty, once you've been on Yahoo, you've been booted. I've been called every name in the book. You can't possibly give me anything fresh on YouTube. Trust me. I've been booted. I've been disconnected. I had Egyptians. We used to have a joke. Hey, Jackal. We used to have a joke on Yahoo. If I had a dime for every Egyptian that asked me to marry them or would come in and say, I love you, I would be so rich. Because they didn't know, like, a lot of English. So, like, they would pick up certain words listening to chat people, and they were very limited. It was just funny. You too, Sharon. You have a good one. Thanks for stopping. I am trying to get around to everybody's channel, so be patient with me. What I've been doing is I've been kind of looking at the comment section on my videos. And when somebody comments, I try to visit those people first. And then people that are left over, like, that I can get a chance that haven't commented. Well, hello, Ryan. Thank you. I'm going to try to get to all their videos too, because a lot of people wait for that first comment from you to go visit your page. I've noticed that. Like when you first add a person, they'll be like, well, if you leave a comment, we'll come visit you. Oh, I would love it. I would love it, Glitz. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about doing some Valentine cards too. I've been thinking about it. For anybody that wants one, they can leave their, I don't know. A lot of people have P.O. boxes like underneath their threads. But if people want them, they can leave their address on my Instagram. Because I've had a few people who direct message me through my Instagram. My Instagram is at Tammy Minda, which is my name. And I don't hide my address. And it's not a P.O. box because I have a business in my house. My used bookstore's downstairs in my basement in a nice rec room. So I'm hoping that, that people who want to, they can leave it. I wish I could do a P.O. box, but I couldn't. It's not going to work having two of them, because where I live, it's like you can't have a separate one. I know it's crazy. Unless I would put like Tammy's Makeup Treats as a business, which I already have a business, it's just too confusing. Because Minda's Bookstore and More.com is my used bookstore in my basement. So my information's out there. As a matter of fact, I just had to file a police report because somebody interfered with one of my credit cards. But that'll be taken care of because I caught it in time. I always monitor stuff like that. I'm like really big in internet security. I actually have a cousin in Texas that works in that field. Yeah, they didn't get me by much, Glitz. It's just, it was funny because our bill came in and my husband's like, what the heck? Because it doubled and I knew I hadn't used it. So I go through the card and I'm looking, I'm thinking, what the hell? Somebody took an Amtrak station in states I haven't even been in. And one had movie tickets clear down in Florida. I don't know. They had a field day with my card for a couple days. And they took me $1,000 over my credit card limit, which doubled my payment. So I had to go and file a police report and had the card shut down. I know the immediate reactions to take. My cousin told me, he says, I always have a credit card just for the web. And then I have my other stuff with my banking that I never use online. So you just got to take certain measures. Well, hey, Debbie. Thanks for stopping. You just gotta watch. You just gotta be real careful with your money these days. So it looks like it was like not on my end. Like somebody got into my computer and did it, Glitz. It looks like it was like they were compromised on the credit card's end. For the charges to be in 3 different states. It had to have been, I think, somebody that hacked into theirs, but who knows? They'll find it, though, if it's meant to be found. Please tell me, though, more than likely, a lot of the times when that happens, it's like out of the country and they have a hard time finding it. And I go, well, just do the best you can. I mean, I know I didn't put the charges there. Somebody paid their cable bill, and we don't even have that cable company in our area. Like, there's ways they deduct the person not making the charges. You know what I mean? But I was like, I asked the credit card company, I'm like, what's this? And she says, it looks like somebody paid their cable bill. I go, we don't have that cable here. We have limited cable where I live. We only have like a couple companies that you can even get it from where I'm at. And that's not one of them. So there's ways they can test, if a person's lying or not. Like some people who might have overcharged on their card and they just don't want to make the payments. There's ways to tell. But my doggie, she stopped snoring. And my cats, I have 2 cats. They call them vintage kitties. Well, hello, Janelle. I'm doing great, Debbie. Just relaxing, and we had some sun here today, and I'm just hoping that it melts some more of the ice. We went in, last night, in the middle of the night, I heard ice ticking off the windows, that we had snow over top of it, but most of the snow was above us, thank goodness. But we just have that slushy, where it went to slush and then it refroze again type of, just irritating, but not enough to keep people in the house or anything. It's just so cold. I had to take my doggie out to pee every so often and go to the bathroom, and she's like flopping around like, wee, this is fun, and I'm out there like, brr, let's go in the house, hurry up, do your business. Hey, Will. Yes. I think what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to post this live too. It's too bad the comments people make in your lives don't go with your videos so you can see who comments to actually visit all their channels. Because I need to get out and visit more. I've been trying, like I do my comment section, like I was saying earlier, and then I try to get extra people in there. Because I'm telling you, I went from like 300 people to 1,000. I mean, that was a heck of a spike. I've only been in YouTube since June. I haven't even been here a year. And it was just like overwhelming. It's like, it's overwhelming all the people you got to keep up with. I can't even imagine how these people do it in the millions. I'm like, holy crap. Because, you want to try to support your channels back. Well, you'll get there, Will. You will get there. And also, I want to let you guys know, I don't know if you all know the YouTube rules, but this is what they're doing. If you use the sub for, they're making you lose that sub. You can't type it. So we're using new words. Well, thank you, Janelle. We're using new words like support up, or I'm doing meet and greets so people can get to know each other. And if you go in and you see a person's video, I don't think a person should just add. Sometimes I do it, but then I like going back and looking at their channel to make sure it's, because I'm kind of a variety person, so I'm not that picky. But there are some people that don't. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. But it's nice for some people to check out other people's content. Like, there's some people that can't stand gaming, and there's some people but see, I don't mind it because I'm not a gamer. But my husband played Resident Evil, and I'll tell you what, I love watching him go through that house and get all the things he needed to get. Like, I'm not much of, how do I put it? I like the ones, like, the type of games where people play, like, where they have to go into castles and look for shields, and, like, you have to find, like, all these materials along the way to play the game. I like watching those types, but I'm not much of a gamer. I played, I think, the first Mario and Tetris, and I played Farmville for a little bit online, like a little bit of that type of stuff, but not something that I want to continue all the time. Well, hey, Sabuki. Me too. So I can deal with it. I can deal with going into a gamer stream, and I don't have a problem with it. I haven't really found a channel I haven't liked yet. Pretty much I like a variety. Like, I have one that does grilled cooking, one that does quick cooking for families. Some family vlogs are fun when they take you into vacation sites you haven't been, because they kind of teach you, like, I had one that did a Disney trip, and they show you ways you can cut costs when you actually go on a Disney trip. So I think that stuff is cool to know before you actually do it instead of trying to figure it out. And you'll get there. You will get there. And what else was there? There's just so much of a variety. And I have a science one I like to follow, because they're always given, like, different things that they explain. And I don't know. I just like a variety. So there hasn't really been any channels that really hasn't been for me. My problem is, though, when we get into the chit-chat screens where people like to just chat while they're doing their makeup or just doing whatever, like the guys are chatting during gaming, I fall asleep. It's like I'll be sitting there listening, and all of a sudden my head nods off, and I'll be like falling asleep with my glasses on. My husband's like, Tammy, wake up, take your glasses off. I'm like, but it's so comforting at night just to listen to people jibber jab. Because, no matter what time you come on YouTube, 24/7, there's always somebody on here talking about something. But I love it when the gamers all fire up at the same time. My phone sounds like popcorn. It'll go pop, pop, pop from all the notifications. But I noticed on my phone, right now, it won't let me hit anybody's notification bell. I keep getting this 4-something error. So what I've been doing is I have to log on my computer and hit the... For some reason, my computer's letting me do it, but my phone's not. And then, as people were adding me, it wasn't because I added too many people in one day. It wasn't about, that 404 error. I kept getting a 503 error on my phone adding people. And so I Googled it, and I put something like, what's the cutoff for YouTube to sub? And it told me 2K. And I'm like, well, how are you supposed to grow if you can only add 2K people? Hey, Nicole. So what I had to do is I had to go back through all my subs that shows up on the computer. And there was people who abandoned their accounts, maybe because they just didn't have time for it or they were mad at the monetization. I don't know. But they totally abandoned. Like there was no content, no nothing where there used to be. So I had to take off. I bet you I deleted 15 dead accounts. But then again, I had not went back through them since June. So like I was going to do it every month, but then I thought, no, I'll just do it every 6 months. And if you see like ones with no content that have nothing on them, I've just been deleting them off. And keeping the people who I know that's got content. You know what I mean? Now there are 2 people that told me when I asked why they didn't have content, they were getting ready to build theirs. So I went ahead and gave them the benefit of the doubt and added them because they're just now getting into YouTube. So you have to kind of watch for that too, because I don't want to delete somebody that's actually going to have a channel. Yeah, I like do-it-yourselfs too. My husband, I got to tell you guys that's in here, ladies, I got so much into the do-it-yourself channel in our old house. My husband come home one day and I had the whole wall hammered out in our bathroom. And he's like, what the hell? Not to cuss, but he was so mad at me. But what it was is we had this closet right beside it. And I told him our bathroom is too small. We had like a toilet, a tub, no shower, and this little sink. And I'm like, I can't stand not having no room. So we had this closet behind it. And I said, why not just knock that whole wall out and then put a unit in and then really have a nice bathroom set up? Well, he wouldn't move fast enough. So I took a hammer to the wall to try to push him along a little. Come home and the wall was open. And you know what? I got my bathroom. He actually put the bathroom in. We had a beautiful bathroom. I took all the cabinets. So it's a house we flipped. I took all the cabinets out of the kitchen, redid them all. I have all the before and after pictures stored on my computer. So then when we decided to move, all that needed done, this whole house was completely finished. I'm talking every window was replaced. The whole inside was redone. All we had to do was side the outside. It even had a new roof on it. Just needed updated siding. So we ended up getting our dream home, which we live in now, which is a ranch-style brick home that I have always dreamed, and we finally made it. And this took us 29 years, people. This stuff does not happen overnight. We've been married for 29 years. Hey, Casey. Hey, little Chris. It is not. It's round. So then we went and rented that house out. Well, then the renter that moved in, she was an EMT, and her husband, I think they had a set of twins, a son. I can't remember, it was 4 or 5 kids. And at the time, rent was so high here because of the gas bill people with families couldn't afford a home. So we only rented it out for $350 because we didn't have a garage with it. We didn't have like central air, any of the perks. And I told them they could keep their pets, of course, because it was on like was a little under acre of property. But it was 1, 2, 3, 4 lots, I believe is what we own on the other property. We still have that property. So she rented it for I don't know how long. She plugged a toaster in and went to the bathroom. And 2 of her kids were home that day with her. And the house caught on fire. It was awful. It was a faulty toaster plug. And it just went so fast. And she panicked. She calls me. She can't breathe. Like she's having a panic attack. And she's like, oh my God, I caught your house on fire. And we went down. And, people get so... Our insurance company was so awful at first through this. Not the regular insurance company, but the people you talk to. They were like, oh, she'll probably sue you and this. I said, why do you have to try to stir drama before it even happens? She's not going to sue me. The girl and I drilled her for 2 hours before I even rented to her. The sad part is, We lost the house. We didn't have a big insurance policy on it, but enough to clean up and take care of what we had to do. I was more worried about, I was thankful that nobody died in that house. I was more worried about lives than property, to be honest. And so we went down and, she's like hyperventilating. I'm like, listen, thank God you and the kids got out, because if one of your kids or you would have died in that house, I would have died if somebody would have died in that house. So we got everything cleaned up and everything done, but I felt so bad because she didn't have no renter's insurance. So I went in after everything, and I mean, there was nothing salvageable. Everything was just destroyed. There was no rebuilding. So we went in, and the basement, she had like a bunch of clothes in there, and I Googled online, because this is the type of area and the type of families I was raised around and how my parents taught me to be. I went online and Googled what takes smoke and the stinky smell out of your clothes, and it said Era and white vinegar, and I had Tide with Febreze. I went down and saved 3 garbage bags in the basement of clothes and sheets and blankets she had for her pets, and took them all to the laundromat one day to surprise her. She had no clue anything was salvageable, and I saved a bunch of their jeans and shirts and blankets, and I spent the whole day off work just doing her laundry. And I took it to her house, and she was like, oh, Tam, my kids were like in tears, because like one of them had this t-shirt, looked like somebody did signatures all over it. I don't know what it was for, but it must have been something that was sentimental. She says they were so happy when they opened up those bags, they found those clothes. And there was no suing even talked about. You know what I mean? We're not that kind of people. Not everybody's sue happy. I mean, we didn't have anything to sue for, and neither did she. Both of us struggled to get where we were getting. So yeah, when, my husband and I started out, we struggled. We know what it was like to have to share a car, to have to go on food stamps a couple times when he was on strike. We know what it's like to be at our lowest. So when I told him, as we built up to where we are today, I said, when we get to a level where we can help other people, that's why I do the giveaways I do. That's why I do the school giveaway when it comes around, the makeup giveaways that I do, because I feel that we can afford to give back some now. Because I started out at $3 and something for minimum wage job. I think my first paycheck was $3.34 an hour. I don't know. It's funny. I look back at my pay stubs and laugh. Because I know what it's like for people to struggle, and it's not easy. I mean, I have 6 grandkids, and we help our youngest daughter a lot, because she goes through, she's going through what we went through. My oldest, she's doing a little better, because both her and her husband have good jobs. She's got a set of twin daughters, an 8-year-old son, another son, and I'm telling you, it's not easy raising 2 kids in this day and age, let alone 4. She's due in March. After having twins, I'm like, are you crazy? I think I would have died if I'd have had twins. She was so tired. But she's good mom. So, she makes it. My youngest struggles a little bit more, because of the issues with, so we help her out. Like, her refrigerator broke down, and we helped her with that. So we help our family too. Oh my goodness, retired and prepping. That is so funny. In one of my books, I think I showed it on Treasures Found in Used Books. I actually found an electric bill that was for $1.25, and I was like, what? I was like, that's the cheapest electric bill I ever saw in my life. And it was dated like back in the, I think, 1940s. It's like crazy. Oh, jeez. That's crazy, Casey. See, that's like Jade. She was, she just got a job that she was working as a head of HR management in this one company. She just got a job at another company. She went as a temp to fill in for someone else, and they made a job to keep her. That's how good she is. I'm so proud of my oldest. Because she's got her bachelor's in business. So she's like real smart too. So she goes to the doctor's office, you know, having everything. She got this new job. She's doing good. They bought this house right up the road from me. And they're like doing great. And then all of a sudden she goes in and the doctor said, should we tell her? And she's like, tell me what? She goes, Mom, honestly, I thought they were going to say they saw my constipation. She was constipated real bad when they did her ultrasound. And they thought, she said, honestly thought they were going to say she's backed up. And she said, they come out and said both heartbeats. She goes, both heartbeats? What do you mean both heartbeats? She was freaking out. And then her husband, Chris, was so funny. He comes out and says, well, it better be a boy and a girl so he can help with her issues when she starts dating. And then they ended up having 2 girls. One looks just like him, and one looks just like her. They're fraternal. So what they call them, fraternal, the ones that don't look alike. And identical is, yeah, the identical is the ones that look alike. But one looks blonde hair like her daddy. I mean, just looks like her spitting image. And the other one's the spitting image of her mom. Dark eyes and all. And they act like him too. Like, Layla's real laid back. I did a video on the twins. Layla's the blonde and she's like real laid back as she takes in her environment. Like she won't reach out to you at first. She likes to study people. And she gives this like look on her, this skeptical look when she's checking you out. And then Livia, she's just a chatterbox. She's just like her mommy. She's Miss Busybody. Her speech is like, she tells you like it is. She tells you everything she wants to eat, what she doesn't want to eat, what clothes she wants to wear. She's like 2 years old going on 16. She's like so funny. She's so Jade though. She's so her mom. Jade was always ahead of her time. I remember her preschool teacher telling me she uses these big words and she knows how to use them. Hey, Chai. Thanks for coming in. Well, thanks, Nick. But yeah, she comes in and she's so funny because she has this one video of her. I wish I could post it to YouTube where she's pretending like she's on the phone and at the computer like she's a businesswoman. And it is so comical. But her preschool teacher's like, she uses big words in her sentences and she knows. She uses them correctly. That's what she said about my oldest daughter, and hers is just like her. And then when she's around a bunch of kids, she breaks her neck to come into the room to tattle. She tells on all of them. And it's hysterical. Mommy, Layla's doing this. And, like, just her hands on her hip. Just, it's just comical. Little Miss Busybody. She tells on everybody. So she's in the store the other day and she was screaming at Jade. Because, she definitely got her personality. Hi, Ja. Ja's gonna have a baby too. I can't wait to see the new babies coming. So I told Livia, I said, if you don't stop screaming at your mommy, she's sitting in a buggy because we both had our buggies. I had Layla in mine. I said, if you go scream at your mommy, I'm gonna kiss you. She takes both of her hands and goes like this over her face, or I can't kiss her. It's so comical. I love how people send you messages when you're in the middle of a live. It's like you don't hear from nobody. As soon as you go live, you hear from everybody. Go away. Oh, well. Alrighty, Casey. Yeah, did you hear about the subbed word chai? I know they don't allow it. They pick it up now as spam or something in comments if you use it, and you lose that sub. Can't do the sub 4 anymore. So I keep telling everybody it's a meet and greet and let's support up. We'll support. Somebody else uses the term fam up. They keep changing all these rules. It's ridiculous. But it would be awful. I think one person was at 8K and lost everybody. They totally shut his account down for it. You believe that? I know. It's ridiculous. That's mine too, Ja. I tell people, support up. Come to the meet and greet and support up. That's my new thing. We'll just do a, hey y'all, let's have a Southern party. It is. It's crazy. I was never monetized. So, I think it's funny because I've had a couple trolls run their mouths about that in comments, and I've just deleted them. And I'm like, I wasn't even monetized. I said I started YouTube as free advertising because my whole story is at the beginning. People were throwing away books in my local area because the Kindles and Nooks coming out. So I put out in 2 freebie ads around my house. One person lost his 8K channel because of having sub for subs. So anyways, he got a letter or something from YouTube saying you're not allowed to use those terms anymore, or they'll shut your account down. I don't know. It's just hearsay. It's what I heard. So anyways, I put out over $800 for advertising my first year of opening up a used bookstore. And I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me. So I decided to come to YouTube to do some advertising for my store is how it started out. And a channel just grew out of it by accident, actually. Because what I was doing was I built a website, and I was going to use YouTube to put my book of the day and then put it into the Facebook page of my business so that people could see what the book looks like. That's how this started. And next thing I know, some people on Instagram talked me into this app called Influencer on products reviews. So I just added it to it so I didn't have to do just books all the time to kind of like change it up a little bit. And I decided, this is kind of fun. So it turned out as a hobby. I didn't even know people got paid on YouTube. I didn't know any of that. The only thing I ever used YouTube for in the past was, I think I had a clogged drain once, and I typed in a video of a homemade recipe, which was, the YouTube video that popped up was, something with baking soda and something in it, and to, play music. I used to play music all the time from YouTube. But I didn't know that people made money from it. I just thought it was another thing like MySpace or something where you could just go and, like a social platform. But I think it's funny how... Is that crazy? What? I tried to talk my husband into doing some gaming online because... he loves to play PS4. And I've met so many great gamers that have added me to their channels that play PS4. And I'm like, oh, you would just so love playing with these guys. I think they would actually get along. But it's hard for him because he works 1 in the afternoon. He leaves here and he comes home at 1 in the morning. He's got a long, busy work day. So he'll come home and he'll only play for maybe like 2 hours at night or something. And I told him that's plenty though to stream. But I don't know if he would or not. But I've introduced him to a couple through videos. I've never made anything off of YouTube. I didn't even know if you were allowed to post your business through YouTube. Because my store is like in the bottom of my house, but I figured I'd try it. I mean, I couldn't find anything in the terms that was against it. But the bad thing is when I set the site up. Alrighty, well, you enjoyed the Olympics. I like all the snow stuff. I like the skiing and stuff. But the site that I built my bookstore on didn't have shipping built into it, which I don't understand why web stores don't. So I had to actually try to talk to my local post office to get an amount that was, where I'm not going to lose money to put into the books, but I don't know how it's going to work out. Oh, I know, Charlene. But I do like selling used bookstores, but I actually do better with people coming into the store than selling it online. Because there's two ways to look at it. Hey, James. When you look at Amazon books and different people that sell books online for used, you're almost paying what you pay for a new book because of shipping. People want to go into their local Goodwill or go into Salvation Armies where you only pay a quarter, and I have to charge like $6 online for the same book just for shipping. That's the only thing I don't like about my business, being online. So when people come into the actual store, a lot of people say, but if they're looking for specific books that they can't find, then that's where it comes in handy to try to find them. But I don't know. But my physical store is doing better than the web one. The web store sucks. It's been up for an entire year and I haven't sold one book. But in the store, people come in all the time. So I've been thinking about, I don't want to lose the website just yet. I'm going to give it one more year because it'll be 2 years it'll be up. But the physical store, I'm going to keep open until the books are gone. But we'll see. Will you take chair chai? There you go, retired. Well, see, that's like me. It's just, if you would see... If you would see the books that these people were throwing away, though, it just made me sick because I understand both concepts. I'm not against Kindles and Nooks. It's just, to me, I'd rather hold a physical book. That's just my preference. But I do get the concept because you have a handheld device. You no longer, like, as you get older and you're rearranging your house, you don't, and dusting and that, you got that handheld device. You don't have to take bookshelves apart anymore. It's a lot of work. And you don't have to move everything with all that lifting. So I totally get it. But people don't realize these books they're pitching were made from trees, and what a waste to be throwing them away. And I cannot tell you how many times I've run into people and be like, oh, I didn't know that there was a used bookstore in the area. We just threw a whole bunch away. I go, but why didn't you donate them? Why did you just throw them away? That's so wasteful. I would have taken them somewhere before pitching them. But some people just don't care. The United States has become so wasteful, it's sad. I have hardbacks that have nothing wrong with them. They look brand new. You open them up, there's no writing in them. There's no age on the papers. I'm talking crisp, white, beautiful books that look brand new. And I told my husband, I just can't stand it that people's throwing the stuff away. I cannot stand it. So, like, it was crazy when the word got around. I have a whole garage full of used books sitting here. People were dropping off stuff like you would not believe, you guys. I'm talking not just books. They're dropping off albums, and vinyl's making a comeback. They dropped off 8-tracks. I don't even have an 8-track player to even check these. CDs, DVDs, VHSs. I've got so much more than books that people are just leaving at my house. I feel like I'm the unhoarding place. So what I've been doing is going through them. And of course, if they are recyclable, because I do get books that are garbage, I would never sell them. I have a freebie pile. I have books that I do recycle. I mean, they got to be in pretty bad shape to be recycled, but the school up the road recycles, so I put them there in the proper place. And then the VHS tapes and the DVD. I mean, I leave them sit in the store for like 50 cents to $1. The CD or DVDs are like $1. VHSs are like 50 cents. People give them to me if they want to come in and they want to take them. I have cheap prices because I'm trying to keep cheap prices as possible because everything else seems to be going up. I want people to have a luxury, and because I don't have a lease or rent, because it's in my house, I can get away with the cheaper prices. So if you see a book online that's like $6, you're only paying $1 for it when you come into my store. If you see one for $7, you're only pay $2. That's like my highest books. The rest of them are 20 cents, 50 cents. I got all different prices. It's all the condition of the books. That's how I base my prices. And then what doesn't sell, I stick in our community yard sale. So that's how I've been doing it. And I include, like, if it's a 50-cent book, I don't make you pay 50, you know, the tax. The tax is included. I just deduct that. Because I'm not going to charge somebody tax twice for something they've already paid tax for. So basically, all I'm getting paid is for cleaning them, going through them, and making a store. But I do have a license. My store is licensed as a business. But it's just crazy. I have people dropping off magazines. I had a crap load of magazines I just put in the last community yard sale because they're even more expensive. Have you looked at the prices of magazines lately? They're almost what a softback used to cost. So I put them like 20 cents. Some lady came in. She bought up a whole great big pile of, they were some type of cookbooks that were, I only put 20 cents a piece on them. She bought the whole, one of those cratefuls. She just picked up a whole bunch of them and took them. I told her, take them, take them. But they were in great condition, these magazines. But gosh, magazines run like $5, $6 a piece or something like that now. I haven't bought a magazine in a really long time. Everything's so high. So I am kind of glad that I'm able to keep the prices down so that people can come in, you know, and pick stuff up and get stuff cheap. But I do have a retired community up here, Prep, that a lot of the elderly people come into the store because they like reading their books. And then some lady came in. She handed me a whole bunch of, you know how like Rite Aid and places dump books that don't sell, but they have to rip the covers off. I got like a whole pile of word searches, crossword puzzles. So if a person comes in and buys a book, I tell them to take one for free. I hand those out for free because there's no cover on them. So they have like Sudoku puzzles and stuff like that. And even sometimes when I do my giveaways, I tell people to go in, whoever wins can go into MendezBookstoreandMore.com and pick out a book, and I'll mail them a book free to go with their winnings. I never announced that when I've done the videos. But the whole month of January and I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner. I just want the books to have a good home. It was never about making money off of them, really, in the first place. I just hated them being wasted. But being that I opened up a store, of course, I have to make something off of them because I do have a license. But a lot of times, the past 4, 5, 6 giveaways I think I've done, I tell them to go in and pick out a book, and I include that in their winning. So I know my books find a good home. So I do give them away, and besides selling them too. My husband's like, look at you doing books and giveaways. I said, well, it's better than leaving them sitting down there unsold. I'd rather at least, them find a good home. And they can go into MendezBookstoreandMore.com because it's set up like Goodreads. I have the synopsis in the book, and, so you can go in, you can read the synopsis of it, and if you like it, you pick it out. It doesn't matter. Everybody's been pretty pleased with the books they picked out. As long as I get a good home, that's all that matters. I just don't want them to go in the garbage bin. But I have quite a collection myself. Mine have all been, actually I've probably found a few that have come in that people have dumped into my store that I've kept, but most of them I do sell. Most of them I've actually bought myself, the books in my collection. But there was a couple that came through my store that I kept too. One of them was, I had James Patterson's Diary for Nicholas. And I lent it to a friend and never saw it again. So that one came back through as a hardback because there was a woman and husband who passed away, and someone who called me to come in to take the books because they were in such great condition. So I did it because I do pickups too. So I went in and I picked up the books, and it was one of the books in the collection. I thought, oh, thank God, because I really wanted that book back. So I got that one back, and James Patterson's Breakfast at Tiffany's was one of my favorite movies. I think Phoebe Cates was in it, and I think that was based on the movie. I don't know. I'll have to read it, but those are my two favorite James Patterson books. And he's popular. I get a lot of people requesting James Patterson, and I get what was another one? Debbie May Comer. Debbie May Comer, I think is her name. My favorite true crime writer was Ann Rule. It was so sad when she passed away. But I had Leslie Rule on my Facebook and didn't know if it was her because she writes paranormal books. And I don't know if this is you or not, because it was just one of those things that when I found out her, that Ann Rule died, I don't know if this is really you or, if somebody takes care of your Facebook page. But I just wanted to say, I was never in your mom's fan club or anything, but if this is really you, I just wanted to say I'm sorry about your loss, because she was one of my favorite authors of all time. And here it was really her. She says, no, it's really me. She says, I'm really her daughter. And she said, we used to go on a lot of book signings together. We had the best conversation. And I said, I never, I said, a lot of people will contact their favorite authors and stuff. I never did, but I just love her books. And we had a really nice chat. Very nice talk. So, you could run into celebrities and you don't even know it. But she said that she decided to do paranormal stuff. And I have never read Leslie's books, but I did read her mom's. I'm kind of curious to read her books, though. Because she seems like a really good soul. Well, hey, Kay. I had a few people jump in. I don't think I've ever read Dan Brown. Will, I've actually used Amazon before they did the Prime. Some of their books wasn't too bad, but shipping was crazy. I bought 11 books that were supposed to be a penny a piece, and it cost me $40 because you basically paid for shipping. And I know they have the Prime, but shipping's still included in their cost. I figured it out on their FBA calculator. eBay, I don't think I've ever bought books on eBay, but I have bought other stuff off of eBay I've been pretty impressed with. That's where my caboodles came from. What the heck popped up in front of my camera? Oh, okay. I hate when the words and text disappears because I can't see you guys typing. How do you pull that back up? Show live chat text, which I have. But for some reason they don't stay up until somebody types. That's crazy. But I only put 4 moderators up for now. Just swipe up. I haven't read Dan Brown, but I have read a couple. There was one true crime. It was a Little Boy Blue. There was this book. It was terrible. It was the most terribly written book I ever had. It took me 3 months to read this book. When usually if a book captures my attention, I can read it in a couple hours, even the thick novels. But it's got to be written a certain, that capturing. This book was so bad. It was like, oh, okay, I've read the Da Vinci Code. It was like, he would talk about the present when in his writing. Whoever wrote this book was terrible. And then he would go into the past, or the neighbor said something about the past. And it's like, I was so all over the place because you didn't know if you were in the present, the past, or the future. It was just ridiculously written. And it took me 3 months to get through that. I think it was one of the longest books that ever took me to read. So then I figured, is it just me? So I finished the book after 3 months. Of course, I can't remember half of it because it took so long. So I decided to try to start reading it again and try to look at it from a different perspective. No, it was just badly written. So you can have authors that are really good and authors that are just awful. But this is my Ann Rule book. I haven't read this one. I have a little bookshelf beside me. But this is one of her books. But she actually was a police officer. And she took her files and made books of them. And I'm telling you, she is good. She even worked next to Ted Bundy. Before he started killing people, she personally knew him. And they never knew that he was a killer. It explains it in one of her novels. But one of the things I think I love about her so much, I can't remember which book it was. She's written so many. She wrote about, I love this epilogue in her one book because she said, this book is very personal to me because a sister had read Ann Rule and picked up the signs of her sister going to be murdered by her husband. She knew the signs. After you read so many cruel, true crime books, you can pick up certain characteristics, especially the abusive ones. And she was writing to Ann Rule, telling her that the husband of her one sister was going to end up killing her, and she knew it. Because all the signs and everything were there. So when it finally did happen, Ann Rule wrote the story. And talked about how her sister had written her because the sister never left. She chose not to leave. Hey, Margaret. And it was sad because her sister predicted her outcome and it really happened. She really did die out of that situation. And it's terrible that she was writing Ann Rule about it before it happened. Her concerns for her sister. So, she's just a good writer. It's sad she passed away, though, because I really love her books. But sometimes that happens. You see character flaws in certain people after you read so much true crime, and it's like, oh, wow. Really hits home. But I like true books. I don't mind reading books that aren't true, but true ones seem to be... I'm a truth seeker. So I really like true stuff. And I even have, my bookstore set up in a funky way that I had a business person come in. Well, I'm glad you did, Kay. My bookstore is set up to where I have true crime under educational. I had this one businessman come in. He says, you make people look at stuff they don't normally look at. You have a wonderful night, too. And I told him, I said, well, I like it that way because to me, a biography, I'm not a library. I didn't want a whole bunch of sections. And I had some of the people from the retirement place tell me that they love when they come into my store because it's not so overwhelming. There's not wall-to-wall books, and it's not overwhelming, and I keep my subjects, kind of consolidated more so that they're able to find things. Like my self-help, autobiographies, anything that's true is all under educational. Because to me, it is educational. Even a person's life story is educational. So I try to keep everything in one place to where it's not so overwhelming. And the best analogy I could use with that is, do you remember as kids, I don't know if you guys remember, but I do, if you went in looking for cough medicine, you might find 3 choices. Now it's like an aisle. You gotta look at all the symptoms just to pick a cough medicine. So I don't like that when I have to stand, especially if you're in a rush, and you have to stand there for half an hour just trying to find a cough medicine. So that's kind of like what I did with my bookstore. I made it to where everything's in one place to where it's not so overwhelming with subjects. People can find stuff faster. So, I still can't see text for some reason. Oh, there you go. So, do you guys have any special plans for this evening? I think I'm just going to hang out with my dog as long as she stops snoring. I don't know why this is doing that. I didn't read Angel, Demons, and the Lost Symbol, but I did read the Da Vinci Code. It was a good book. Sometimes I just can't remember the authors' names. I remember titles. I have, I don't know how many books I have right now. I think I have just 2 bookshelves downstairs in my basement of stuff that I have saved through the years. My husband used to tell me I could have a library, but I didn't quite have that many books. I always kind of wanted a little room that was kind of like a library, but I never did. A lot of people are complaining about Kindles and Nooks though too, that they've got to charge them, and that they have to pay for stuff, but they still offer a lot of freebies. So one thing I seen is if I borrowed a friend of mine's Kindle, and it wasn't that bad because it was nice that it lit up, that you could read your books in a dark car, like if I was waiting for my husband to go shopping. So that part was good. So who's left in here? I have 2 people. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk your legs off. Scare you all away. Glitz, are you still in here? There you go, retired. I see you. So what do you do now that you don't read? What's your favorite hobbies now, retired and prepping? I still like to read. I just don't do it as often as I used to. You run a bookstore, you never have time. Book I'm reading right this minute, though, has been a good one. It's called Wife Beating, The Silent Crisis. The Facts About Marital Violence in America and Where the Victim Can Go for Aid and Protection. This is the book I'm reading right now. Oh, there you go. Homemade soup sounds good. I still wish I could make my mother's homemade vegetable soup. This is a book that's in pretty icky condition, like it's not in the best condition. This is like a library bound, and it's got like a tear in the back of it. I was going to stick this in my freebies because it's got a little bit of writing, and like, look, the tape come off. Sometimes I think libraries ruin books. They stamp the heck out of them. But this is like an older book, but it's good. It's got a lot of information in it. I'm enjoying reading it. It's good for somebody that's going into counseling. But I have, it's got some sad stories in it about women who've been abused and stuff. It's terrible. So this is the book I'm reading right this second. And I have another one in my bookstore about highly sensitive people I've been reading too. I'm kind of like a highly sensitive person. And it's not the meaning of your feelings get hurt easily or anything. It's just the way you perceive life. Wow. That's old. Hey, Giggles! You just missed Kay. I don't know what my oldest dated books are. I think I might have one that's kind of old. I don't know if it's from the 1800s, but it was a book written back when books first started. I think it was called Daddy's Girl, I think. It's old. That might be like the oldest book I have. I don't know where it's at right this second. Wow. My grandmother had this, I think it was a century. I forget what century it was. It's a great big dictionary. And I remember when I was in college and I was taking composition class, they said we had to get a Harvard dictionary to decipher poetry. You know, the thou and all those funky words. And I came home and looked in hers. I said, no, I don't. My grandmother left me one that's got everything. I mean, this thing is so big that if you drop it, I swear it'd break your toes. It is huge. And I used it as I used to set it in a corner as a book stopper or a door stopper for a little while. It used to sit in a certain place on the floor behind the door, but you know, it was kept good though. It was never abused. But this book is huge. Now it's like the pages you got to watch because like the edges are getting really bad, like they're really thin. I still have it. I don't know where it's at right this second, but I know it's in the house. I think it might be in my computer room. Hi, Roan. You want to tell everybody hi? Say I'm up. I'm not snoring. What are you doing, little girl? Hey, don't turn your butt to the camera. Roni. Come here, Ronies. Kissy mommy. Come here. Kissy mommy. You're my baby. You're my baby. They want to see you on YouTube. See, I'm mommy's baby. You can see her teeth. These are her, I don't know if she'll show you or not. Her pit bull gator teeth. Look how funky her teeth are. Wait. Sorry, I don't mean to make you guys seasick. Turn your face around and give them a smile. See, look at my crooked teeth. Oh, listen to that breathing. You sound so old, and you're just a year old. You ain't that old yet. Listen to her. You're something else. You being a lazy bones. You should see her, though, when I take her outside. She hits that snow buddy. She ain't like this. That cold air hits her, and she's jumping around, and there's 2 pieces of ice out on the ground. She tries to make them her hockey pucks. She tries to beat them around in the snow. It's so funny. She's something else. Her birthday's December 3rd. And then here's my little old lady. This is Heather. I have her sister in the other room. And they're 23. They'll be 23 May 12th. That's how old this cat is. They call them the vintage kitties at the vets. The oldest living cat on record was 38 years old named Cream Puff. Say hi, my name's Heather. She's part Siamese. They're sisters from the same litter, and Hope's got a white spot on her chest. Yep. She's gonna purr. She's got cataracts. And they both have a little bit of a thyroid issue. Right now, Hope's on medicine for thyroid. Just like people. You too, Giggles. Thanks for stopping by. Say hi. Say I'm a little girl. She got stinky breath. But they're on fancy feast for senior cats. So it's like the food makes their breath stink. It's like, oh. But these are my babies. What's she doing, Heifer? My love. Go ahead. But you can see the cataracts in her eyes. Look. They can barely hear and they're going blind, but they're awesome. They're not in pain. She's over here purring up a storm. But I watch him because I don't want him to suffer. I had one cat that went through thyroid issues so bad. She dropped from She was like a 13-pound cat. She dropped down to 6 pounds. And then she went to 4. No matter what we tried to do, we had her on science diet. The vet and I, we tried to put a plan together for her, but she just kept losing. It's like her thyroid was just sucking her life away. She got down to 4 pounds, and I told the vet I can't take it anymore. I said she can barely move. She was so thin and long, bigger compared to Heather. And I just couldn't take it. I said, so we had to put her down, and it was terrible. I rocked her to her death, and she purred the whole way. But she was just getting to a point where it was bad. And I refused to let my animal suffer. I can't stand it. So that was a rough death. And it's really hard to put a cat or an animal down because their heart beats so strong, And sometimes it does make you question, is it the right thing to do? I mean, even, you can't even do that to people. And you feel like you're murdering your animal, but at the same time, I can totally understand why people do the sympathy deaths. I really do. It was terrible watching her slide. I don't know. I have a lot of controversial feelings when that comes to that. I hated taking her life, though. But she was like dwindling away to nothing. And all she did was lay around. She was so listless. It was like, what a life, I don't know. I have a lot of feelings when I come to stuff like that. That's just like, I took care of an elderly woman because one of my other part-time jobs I'm still hired with the company. They just don't have patients up my way right now. But I go in and take care of people who want to die at home. And one of my ladies had no resuscitation. Oh, you know how hard that would be to not save a life if a person goes. That it would be so hard for me not to do CPR and try to save their life. But that's what she had, was that order. Two of her husband was a lawyer and one of her daughters, and it was already signed in the papers that we weren't allowed. It's all the decisions at the end are horrible. So I told my mom, her and my dad had me as one of the kids on the medical power because there's 3. I have 2 other siblings, and they had me under medical power. But I don't want it. Take me off the medical. Put me on anything. I don't want to make that choice. I just can't do it. I hate making the choice between life and death. It's crazy. So who else is hiding in here? I see a 3 number. Baking Diva. Well, hello. See, I like cooking too. I've done a few easy meals, but I didn't really want to turn into a cooking channel. I like kind of doing a variety. People, I keep getting a thumbs down because I have one person that hates it when I do my books, and I'm like, listen, I know it's called Tammy's Makeup Treats, but I actually started it to actually do free advertising for my store. So that's why my channels it has something different. I have the Serene Sunday readings, the Wednesday welcomes, the book of the day, and I do makeup every now and again, but it's not really like makeup tutorials. It's more of product reviews. I'm definitely not a makeup artist. But I like switching it. And then sometimes I'll cook on. It just depends on what I'm doing for the day, really. I kind of like a variety. But I get some great people that can cook on I like cooking channels. Especially soups. My mom, I don't know about you, retired in prepping, but she makes the best vegetable soup. And I still have not perfected my mom's recipe. I can cook a lot of her foods. But she gets a soup bone. It seems like every time I try to find one, I can never find it. But she'll take a soup bone and she'll leave it cooked that all day long soup. And she told me she used to put veg all in, like a few cans, and then she actually would chop up like extra potatoes and extra vegetables to go in it. But she said it's like I think I forget how long she said, like 2 or 3 hours. They let the soup bone cook with a little bit of beef on it, and it gives it the flavor. Mom said there's no other soup like it. I love her soup. Well, see, that's what I said. Mine says makeup, but I only do makeup on mine once every so often, and I really don't want to change the name. Well, there you are. Hi, Living. See, that's like me. Um, I have to give kudos to someone like Toddy because they get up 5 days a week and she actually does makeup every single day. I love makeup, but I didn't want to do it every single day. Oh, that's okay. I actually, I don't know. There's some days I get up and I'm like, I don't feel like doing makeup. Like, I don't want to do makeup today. I want to, like, cook. So then I'd show a cooking. And then another day I'd get up and I'd be like, well, I don't feel like doing either, but I'll do a book of the day because I have, you know what I mean? It's just, it's funny. Like, I just like a variety. I can't do the same thing all the time. Maybe that's my problem. I worked so many jobs in my life that were repetitive. Like I literally worked a lot of labor jobs. Like I was an airbrush painter and we painted and painted and painted and like I worked assembly lines, the same thing over and over. And I guess that's why my channel is such a variety because I can't stand doing the same thing every day. Drives me nuts. I love makeup, but I'm not obsessed with it. There are some people that are obsessed. And I love listening to Jennifer Loves Reviews and Toddy's Makeup Channel because they not only... What I love about those two channels best is not just about the makeup. The women are so informative that if there's certain parabens, they even warn people, like they'll say, well, this type of parabens in this makeup, so it might be not be good for allergy. I mean, these people know the substance. They know the ingredients. They are that good. I never wanted to get into makeup that deep. Like to know all the ingredients, everything. Like, yeah, between fake makeup, like you don't want people using stuff that could harm them, like arsenic and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know enough about all that. Living. I like doing reviews on products, but I don't know if I could sit and do as deep as them two do. But I love their channels. Their channels are really good. Another makeup one I like is Danielle Ray. I think she's just the sweetest person. Danielle Ray is just, she does a lot of hauls. Like she does get a lot of free PR, but she does more than just makeup. She does fashion. She'll do like sandals, shoes. I just love watching her channel. She's like a little kid every time she gets her PR, and it's just so adorable. She's like a little kid at Christmas. To me, makeup is not something that's a necessity. It's a treat. That's why I call it Tammy's Makeup Treats, because it's just something that you can dabble in when you feel like it. But if I don't feel like wearing it, like I don't have any makeup on right now, for the most part, I don't wear makeup. Just for when I do reviews or if I'm getting ready to go somewhere sometimes. It's fun to dabble in, but I'm not obsessed with it. I don't think I really have an obsession. I have more hobbies and just things I like to play in. But I think everybody that does their channels is just so cute. My husband was ready to kill me, though, when I first set up my channel. I had hardly no makeup. Hey, J. Kurt. So what I did was, my husband handed me a credit card, and he let me unleash on building up my products to do. Let me tell you what. I had never shopped at Ulta or Sephora. I sold Avon once a long time ago when my girls were younger. And I tried, oh my gosh, baking. You should see me now. It's like I can't get enough of those two stores. But yeah, he did. He gave me a credit card and was just like, do what you want. You don't even want to know what I spent. I had a field day at those stores. Let's just say within the first year of him giving me this credit card and telling me to go to town, because he knows like when our kids were growing up, we never really got to splurge. He's a PS4, so he buys himself enough games and consoles, and that's not cheap either. So when he handed me that credit card, I ended up with VIP in Ulta, VIP in Macy's, and VIP in Sephora by the time I was done. I've got boxes of makeup I haven't even looked at yet to do reviews on. I got enough makeup to last me through 2018 and probably the year after. As far as reviews. Oh, it's crazy. Oh my gosh, that's so funny living. Well, that's what I said. Did you hear the recent one? I don't know if you, I think Prepping was in here when I talked about it, maybe. I know Glitz was. Well, this is what happened. So, I stopped using the credit card now that I've got my stuff built up, except I do have fun mail coming, besides giveaways. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a really good fun mail day. I got some makeup I am so psyched about because I waited so long for this one thing to come in. So I'm going to be able to share it my Fun Mail Friday. So what happened was, the bill came in, and it was double the amount. My credit card living. My husband threw it across the table, and he was so mad. Here, what had happened is somebody got a hold of my credit. They hacked into the account, and they took it 1,000 over its limit. Well, when you go over your limit, you have to pretty much pay that in full. It's not that it doubled. It just, that was the amount. He was ready to kill. So I told him later on, I go downstairs, I'm like, whatever, you could just stand up here and yell. I said, you're the one that gave me the card. I don't know what you're talking about. Because I hadn't charged on it. So I go downstairs and he comes down a few minutes later. What's this? And I looked at it. He says, something happened to me. Somebody got into the account because he knew that was not my charges. So somebody had a field day. They took 2 Amtrak. I've never even been to Amtrak stations. I don't have a clue. I'm like, what is that, a train? I've heard of Amtrak. I didn't know, I have no clue. So here they charged $400 and some to a Lowe's that's not even in my state. They charged almost $80 in movie tickets in Florida. And they paid a cable bill for Time Warner. Well, we don't even have Time Warner in our area. I didn't even know what Time Warner was. I called the credit card immediately, the credit card company, told them to shut my card down, and I said, and there's charges I did not make. So here you are upset, and you're trying to stay calm, because I told the lady, I was just so upset I was trying to focus on the charges. And I said, it's sad when you get robbed or you have something like this happen because you're trying to explain. So I had to make little marks beside the charges on the bill. So then they shut the card down, and I said, these are not mine. So they told me to go ahead. Well, I didn't know you're supposed to make a police report. I don't think to make a police report unless it would happen to me here. Because it happened on web. So I had to call the Experian, like all the big places. And they got an alert now just to kind of watch people using anything in my name. Because I don't know what they got. I don't know if they got my social security number. We don't know what they breached. So I had to put an alert out. And then on the paper it said to make, I had to. They told me I had to make a police report. So I had to go down and make a police report. I said, well, it is a crime. I just never thought of it. My thing was to always shut the credit card down is what I was always told. This is the first time this has ever happened to me, so I've never had to deal with this before. So I did the report and everything, so it's done. Well, hey there, Z. Well, thank you so much for stopping in. But I'm glad it's handled. Yeah. So now we just wait. My husband's like, well, how much do I pay on the bill? I go, pay what you paid before. I said I wouldn't give him a whole bunch of money. Oh, there's little Chris. Use the other spy hanging in here. I think little Chris is round. Are you trying to tell me you're flat? What's your favorite animal, Chris? We use the word support. I support back. I guess YouTube is, if you use the word sub, they're going to start making you lose subs when you text it to people. So we do support now. We do meet and greets and support. I don't know if you can say it. I'm not exactly sure how it's banned. Yes, it is. It's something that they just started and we're trying to pass it on down to everybody. I guess this is what I was told. Someone had 8,000 subscribers, kept doing the sub for sub in text on the comments. YouTube sent them a letter and shut that completely down. Could you imagine climbing to 8,000 and losing your account because of those 2 words? I don't know if that part's true, but I did see another guy hold up in his video a piece of paper that was YouTube rules, that if it's used in the comments, it's going to make you lose that sub. If you use sub for sub, that they pick it up as some type of, filter word. And I guess it's going to be in the comment sections. They pick it up in the filter, and if it happens, you lose that sub. Like, that sub will not be added to your account. It's not like you get a strike against your channel or anything. Just something irritating. But that's what they've been doing, and I've been hearing it in other streams. You can say, I think, you can't ask a person back, but you can say, I subscribe to your video, but you can't ask them to subscribe back. Isn't that crazy? I think that they're just going to nitpick about every little thing that we say to try to prevent. But that's what I've been hearing in other streams and what I saw on that guy. I can't remember whose video it was. It was one of the people I have added. I can't think of what his... there's been so many people it's hit me. Somebody with walk or something. I can't remember, but he held it up. Yeah, that they're going into spam. Yes, it's going into your spam, and that you will lose that sub. That you won't. You'll lose the person wanting to do it if they try to. That it'll hit your spam folder. And the funny thing was, I had so much in spam, you guys, when I first started YouTube. I was only using my phone that I didn't even realize it. And I went onto my computer one day and I felt awful. There was like 6 different channels talking to me that I had never seen. And it was like 3 months later, didn't even know these people were trying to communicate with me. And I had to take them all out of my spam folder. And I had to text each one of them and tell them that I was so sorry, that I was really not being rude, but I cannot see my spam folder on my phone. That I had to go into my computer to find them. That's sad. I felt awful. But once I let them out, now they're added. And I said, I'm so sorry. You were carrying conversations with me and I never saw them. But YouTube was throwing them into my spam folder, and I don't know why, because they never even used those words. They were just saying, hey, I stopped by, and it was crazy. So people that don't have computers to sign up for YouTube, I feel for them. Well, hey there. How you doing, Red Dragon? I think do I have you? I've seen you in so many. You know what? I don't even know how to add you or check. My phone don't let me. I don't have a way to look at you like in a normal thread. I have actions, report, remove, put user in timeout, or hide user in this channel. I don't have the option to see if I have you added. Because I noticed too, another thing, I'm going to have to go back through my subscribers too. One night when there was a bunch of people adding me, 6 people I know that I added, I went back through my subscriptions because what I do is I have a list besides what YouTube shows. And I go through each one, and there was like 6 people I know that I hit that subscribe button that showed up as my subscribers, but they were in the red. The buttons weren't hit right. So I didn't lose those subscribers. YouTube never gave them to me. So I had to go back through and I had to hit them up. So here the other day, it kept giving me an error and it wouldn't let me sub. And I think there's still 3 in my subscription list. I need to get in there and add them, because it wouldn't let me add no more people. So I had to wait. So I'm going to go back through and I try to check that like every other week. I've been trying to go into my subscribers to make sure that they're still subscribed. Yeah, because one lady come at me that I had been talking to. She says, did you unsubscribe from my channel? And I'm like, no, but let me check. And sure enough, she was showing up on my phone and stuff and everything looked fine. But when I went on the computer, I wasn't subbed to her. So I don't know what happened. But I noticed if I add people on the computer, it lets me do it. Like the notification bells are better to, hit them and they stick. But I noticed on my phone here lately, I can't do, like the notification bell's not working. I'm getting like a 404 error. So on my computer, I'm getting better results. So I'm just using my computer to try to check things a little bit more than my phone. Yeah, because I can't hit any notification bells whatsoever right now on my phone. I keep getting 404 error, 404 error, and it won't let it go through. So I've had to go on my computer and do it. And when I tried to add some people, like somebody was saying you could only do up to 50 a day. I don't know if that's true or not. I can't find no answers on Google. I've tried for that part. But I've went in and I was hitting on my computer one day trying to, pick up more subscriptions, and it said that were subscribed to me already. And it said I added too many for my limit for the day. And I'm thinking, really? There's actually a limit? It's like, how in the heck do these people have millions of people on their channels if you get cut off? Well, hey, Leons. Because I know, I Googled one time, what's the limit of people that you can subscribe to on Instagram? It told me 7,500. Hey, Smurfette, because it cut me off there too. And I Googled, what is the cutoff limit on YouTube of subscribers? It told me 2K. So if you can only subscribe to 2,000 people, how are you supposed to grow? That's actually an answer that comes up in Google when you type it in. You got to word it a specific way, though. You can't type in, like, is there a cutoff limit for YouTube? You have to type it in as, what is the subscriber limit you can subscribe to on YouTube? And it told me 2,000, and it'll cut you off. Well, thank you, Big Andres. I'm so glad you guys are popping in. I love it. I'm trying to get around as much as possible. I try to hit the people in my comment section, and I try to go to extra channels because people wait for you to go to their channels too. Hey, Dragon Song. She's my new friend. Everybody does such great videos. Even the gamers. I even like going in. The gamers are so nice too. Well, I'm glad you get to. I try to show as much as I can. Smurfette did it. There's a couple I pick on though living. I love going into LB Fresh's. I torture him all the time. I keep telling him, I said, did you do my laundry today? He goes, oh, there she goes again. Well, my favorite animal, as you can see, is on my wall. I love all animals, but I got a real soft spot for horses. But I do have eagles in my house. Look over there, Chris. See there? I got eagles all over another room in here because my husband collects eagles. So we got all kinds of eagle stuff too. We got a bunch of pictures in another guest room we have. Well, thank you. So what's a good number to have on your likes? I don't know. Katie did. Well, that's cute. Well, if you guys are subscribed to me, I hope you guys show up on my subscriber list. Because I know there's a lot that have their stuff in privacy. But I like to be able to see the names of the people that subscribe so that I can subscribe back. Hey, Pappy! Oh, I'm telling you, Leons. I still have not got to all the channels that have subscribed to me yet. I'm telling you. I could keep up when I was at 300. Being at 1K, it makes it a lot more difficult, let me tell you. Because I try to show support as much as I can, but man, it's rough. And then I'll see a live stream pop up and I'll be like, oh crap, I was just at that one earlier. Oh, I'm telling ya. You should see me trying to work my regular job. I have my phone propped up and I'm streaming YouTube the whole time I'm working. It's terrible. I've got like this YouTube addiction. And then it's like you're afraid to turn your phone off because you're afraid you're going to miss something. I know. Heck, I'm cooking and I have my phone propped up watching YouTubers. I'm actually sitting out doing my mail, going through my mail. My phone's propped up listening to YouTubers. That's all I do. I haven't even paid attention. I started a Facebook page. It's dead. I haven't even been paying attention to it. And then somebody asked me the other day, what they asked me, had I seen something? I'm like, are you kidding? I've been even watching my, hey Cheryl, I've been even watching the, weather on my phone. Because I haven't even had time to watch TV. Everything's available now on the web. You don't need to. Me and my husband, neither one of us, because he plays PlayStation 4 when he comes home. And he watches certain channels on YouTube too. He'll be playing it in his car or playing a radio station in the car. We dropped cable. We got Netflix. Because I told him we never watch TV. What's the point in paying an extra $100 on our cable bill when we never watch it? So it saved us $100 dropping channels. We have it just for our computer, and that's it. We have the computer phone combo. Yep. It's crazy because I have Instagram to be able to, you know, if somebody needs to get a hold of me, because that's one thing I don't like about YouTube is we don't have like a little messenger we can talk back and forth. So I do have Instagram. My Facebook, I'm hardly ever on it. I've got like family on there that's far away, and that's about the only thing for there. Well, hey, Shaw and MJ. And then we have, I don't do Twitter. I have Twitter. I just never use it. I don't even know why I made a Twitter account. I'm never there. And then, to me, YouTube and Instagram and just a little bit of family on Facebook. I don't even do what is it, Snapchat that people, I don't do any of that. I don't know how people have so much time for all these social platforms. I can't even keep up with YouTube. Yeah, but I like the Messenger. I don't like when you have to send it in little messages and you got to wait till you get on in your email to get them. I'm too much of an instant gratification type of person, Leon. I'd rather have people just hit me up on my Instagram so I can see it faster. The only time I don't answer my Instagram really fast is if I'm busy with something. But I do try to get there because I see it at the top of my phone. And I try to get in there to answer as much as possible. But I do like my Instagram. For those that don't have my Instagram, it's at Tammy Minda. It's real easy. TAMMYMINDA all smushed together. That's my Instagram handle. So if anybody wants to chat, that's where they can catch me. You'll see lots of funky pictures on there of me with face masks and doing product reviews. Hurry back, Smurfette. We never watched TV enough. Basically, I told him we just got a regular antenna in there. Just basic antenna. It's like a square that you hang over my curtain rod, and it picks up a signal to the local weather station. As long as I had my local weather station, I really didn't care. I do miss Lifetime Movie Network sometimes, and my husband does miss his sci-fi. But it's like, it would just be nice if you could just pick the channels you want to watch instead of having hundreds you could care less. I don't know why they can't make up something for people to do that. Why you have to pick a package. Why can't you just pick, okay, I like my local news stations. I would like to have Lifetime Movie Network. My husband likes sci-fi, just to have something to flip through a little bit. But having all the rest in between, we really didn't need. That's us. We have Netflix. We actually, well, my daughter has it. We just help her pay half her bill. It's not like it's that expensive. She's got it set up for 4 people, and me and my youngest, we all share the same Netflix station. We just give her money every so often for it. But it's definitely way cheaper. We got phone and internet, and that's it, through our cable company. I do like our cable company. I just didn't like how expensive everything had to be with everything together. You guys can support each other. Can't do the other word anymore. We support up. I tell people this is my thing. We're having a meet and greet. You guys can either check each other's channels out now, or you can do it later and find out what kind of channels you like to watch. If you're not just into it for the numbers, it's better to be into it for the content, and you can support up with each other. That's my motto. Because if you use the other word, I guess it takes people into your spam, and you lose that sub. Because YouTube keeps changing their freaking rules. Just find glitches. Shell and MJ, have you met Living? Is that you, Shell, that's under the ID, or is that MJ? Usually Shell's out on the prowl. That's how I always guess it's Shell. Living and I've been friends from Instagram. We actually met an influencer, and we've been friends since the beginning of my YouTube channel. I like it that everybody gets to meet each other in the meetups on live stream. It's so nice. She got me into a collab, and we did a collab for Kat Von D. That was so much fun. I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. I know. That's just like Kate. She started her channel after me, Kay. I started mine in June, and then I had to start it over because I screwed up. It was an email glitch. It was all my fault. And then I had to start it over. And then Kay started in November. She started after me. But one of the bigger channels called her name out, gave her a shout out. And she like flew to 1,000 overnight. She's almost at 2K. She's at 2K now, I believe. So she started after me, but she's ahead of me. And I started after some people that's been into it for a year. And mine just spiked. Yeah, if you get a bigger YouTuber that gives you a shout out, hers flew. She was so shocked. She says she's still in shock. And what happened to me was 2 people came into my comment section and they had said subscribe to me. Well, the first one I didn't catch because it went into my spam and I didn't see it till I was on the computer. I'm like, okay, so who are these people? And I decided to go ahead and click into their thing and check their, pages out. And I thought, well, this is really cool. They were like up in numbers, but their stuff was fun. So one of the nights they had a live and I went in and it was like a bam. All these people were hitting up on my thing, and then they introduced us to 4 other channels or 3 other channels. And then one of the channels introduced us to 4 more channels and kept telling us to add these people on the higher platforms. And that's how mine went from 300 to 1K. It was like I got bombarded every time I went into their lives. And that's how it happened. It was just like they've been in it for years. And when you get one of the bigger YouTubers recognize you, you just fly. And that's what happened to my channel. And it was like, holy crap, I don't know if I'm ready for this. I was happy growing slowly. I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I'm so appreciative of what I have. But I think being that I was only at a level of 3, I was only at in my 300. I mean, I'm doing my 300 giveaway and I'm at 1K. That's how fast this hit me. And I think as you grow slowly, it's not so overwhelming. Because when I first came to YouTube, honestly, I did it for free advertising. And I thought if I could even get 50 people, I'd be so tickled. I never dreamed that it would turn into a channel and I would end up being at 1K. I think when people try too hard, they don't succeed to where they want to be. I think if you just lay back, pay attention to the people in your comments and that find your channel, it'll come to you, honestly. If you just be yourself and you don't, have any expectations, because I am way past where I ever thought this would be. And I'm still overwhelmed. Even on Yahoo, when I ran the Yahoo chat room for 6 years, it only had a capacity of 50 people. I think that's where my 50 came from. Because the 50 people was so easy to, keep up with. I'm like, wow right now. Yep. So I think as you go in, the point is, even if people try to push you to support each other, hey, pals. Even if they try to push you to support, I still think it's good that you know the content of another person's channel. You know what I mean? It's got to be somebody you're happy with and not just a number. And so far, all the channels that have been supported, they're just so down to earth that even the ones that's added me and I've been checking their channels out, slowly getting around. I really like the channels that they have. That it's not really about the numbers, it's really about their content. But I'm having a hard time. I just don't want. I feel like I'm not getting around fast enough to the other channels. and I don't want the ones that I haven't got to think that I use them for a number. I don't want them to think, oh, she hasn't even been to our channel yet, because that's not what it's about. I just can't, I can't get the time to get to all their channels. I'm trying. Excuse me, but it's taken, like, there's still a whole bunch I haven't even been to yet. So 1,000 is hard. And honestly, if I don't have any more spikes in the near future, I'm okay with that. I could just sit right here and be okay for a while. You know what I mean? Like, if I spike up to like 100,000, I probably would pass out. Seriously. I'd be like, oh my gosh. I'd be so overwhelmed. Like right now, I'm overwhelmed. It's like just getting the feel of 1,000 people right now is... And one of the guys come into the streams and he said, when I was talking about this in another stream, I was like, this is a lot to take on. And he goes, you wait. Because he goes, once you hit 1,000, you fly. And I'm like, please don't say that. Let me get used to the 1,000. Just let me sit here for a little bit. I want to sit here and get used to it. Because 300 was like not overwhelming. 300, it was cool because I had my commenters. I still hadn't even got to some of their channels yet. I was okay. For 1,000, it's rough. And then I just said here not too long ago, my next one will probably be my 1,000 giveaway when it gets here, because it's happening so fast. And now I'm at 1,000 and I haven't even started that giveaway yet. Because I was the one to give away every 100. That was slow. I could afford it. Now I don't know what I'm going to do. Because I'm doing my 300 giveaway. That's the one I'm on right now. It feels funny doing a 300 giveaway when you're at 1,000. But I told everybody, I said, I'm going to have my 300 giveaway. So when I announce it, I'm going to do it. I'm a person of my word. So at 1,000, I'm like, oh crap. Well, guys, I'm doing a 300 giveaway at 1,000. I know, but it's hard. I just don't want people dropping numbers, because that has happened. If you don't go and support their channels, some people will drop you, and it's like, I don't want them to think I'm ignoring them, because I'm not. I just haven't got there yet. I'm still meeting people all the time. As soon as I seen like 3 lives today, I had never talked to these people yet. I have not even commented in their sections yet. I have watched none of their videos. Oh, geez, pals. So I've had to, as soon as their lives come up, I hurried up and jumped into their lives, because I'm like, I'm new, I'm here. Like, I'm trying to get them to say, know that I am paying attention. But it's hard. Like, I was in one live today and was there for a good 10 minutes, which was good, because then the second live popped up and I'm like, okay, gotta go. So then I popped into the second live, because I'm telling you what, when you get up there, it's like popcorn. Especially when the gamers fire up. I had like them over top of each other, like 8 of them the other day. My phone sounded like popcorn going off. So then I'm like in one for 3 minutes and another live, because I'm like, well, this isn't enough time, because I try to at least give them 10 minutes apiece. Like, I'm trying to do it on a time limit. And then I popped into another one. It was freaking crazy. But at least they're starting to know who I am, and then I'm doing it. It's crazy. It is. It's nuts. Yours came on, pals. Wasn't it yours that was on and you didn't realize you were live? You were trying to do a video? That was comical. We like popped in the middle of yours. You weren't even ready. And then another one, she went off. There was a one I was in, and 3 of them did a Google Hangouts one, which I'm going to learn how to do. Oh, that's funny. They had 3 of them go on Google's Hangout and they did a collab. Because I'm going to learn how to do that Google's Hangout yet through their phone. And 2 of them went off when it was over. One of them was still stuck on the Google's Hangout, didn't realize it. Her son was like, Mom, are we going to have dinner? We could hear their whole conversation. They didn't even know we were listening. And she's like, yeah, we'll decide what we're having for dinner. We were just listening to the conversation. And people kept scrolling in the room. You're still on. You're still on. I don't know if she ever saw it. I don't know how long it lasted because I left. But that's comical when that happens. It's like a butt dial. But they were stuck on Google Hangout. But the ones that I want to recommend, Green Bay Wacky and Hazel the Reptile Fam. I'm going to give, a channel the credit where credit's due. And you go into both of those when, add them. And then when you get a chance, go to their lives. Amazing people. I just love Hazel. She is so soft-spoken. She's such a beautiful soul. And ever since I met her, I just knew. She's got a wonderful personality. She is so anti-drama on her posts and her thread. She has a troll after her right now that's awful. He's awful. And she's so tender-hearted. But she is a wonderful person. And she gets a lot of wonderful people in her chat stream. And it's okay, pals. You're fine. So Hazel the Reptile Fam, if you can find her, she's one to go visit. She actually made me moderator in her group, and it's so fast I can't keep up. Thank God she's got a bunch of moderators because hers flies. She gets at least 100 likes or more a night. She's one of the popular ones. And Green Bay Wacky is so funny. The only thing I advise, if a person goes in to watch him, don't have a headset. And if you do, turn it down. Because he gets carried away. He is so comical, but he can get really loud. I thank God I don't have a headset. But he is a riot. He's like a comedic DJ type person. He makes up songs with the people's names in the thread. And he's just funny. And another one I really love is Trailer Park Guy. He is so good. When they have their lives, it's like sitting around a table with friends in their kitchen on a breakfast, coffee morning. So he's another one. I would definitely give credit where credit's due. And joining those 3, I have met such amazing people. And another one that goes live that's good too is the Shoot the Shit Snackerized. They have Shoot the Shit or Shoot the Shit Snackerized. If you can, join both. When they have lives, you meet people that they fly too. I can't keep up with the people in there. But if you go into those, you meet some of the most incredible people. I have gotten so many people who have supported my channel through those channels. It's been amazing. Really down-to-earth fun people. They're funny, though. They just had Porch Idol and had a bunch of musicians sing. And they're getting ready to do another one called, I guess, Animals. They're going to have people show their pets. That's going to be so much fun. And they get a lot of trolls and they get a lot of heat sometimes because as you grow, you're going to have that issue. So you got to have the stomach for it all. Yay, I got 30 likes. What's the likes mean? I don't know any of this. I still have so much to learn about YouTube. Like, does it matter? Alrighty. Hurry back. If you guys are done chatting, that's fine. It's getting down to low numbers, and I don't want it to get too long because I think I'm going to post this live. This will be my first live posted. Hello, hello. Well, hey, Scrappy Doo. Well, thank you. I'm glad you get to come. Where's Scooby Doo? We get the Scrappy Doo. We need the Senior Doo. I need a haircut. My hair's getting so long. You're looking for him. I'm doing good. Here's my doggy. Look how she's laying. I'm talking about Sharon. She's taking up my bed. She's laying on my hubby's blanket. What are you doing, Ronies? You're a deadhead. Hey, you. Wake up over there. She's only a year old. She's so lazy. Till you get her outside in the snow. And then she thinks she's, I don't know what. She tries to pull me across the yard. Roni. Thank you. She's ornery. She's my Facebook puppy. I found her on Facebook. Some guy had a litter of puppies and he had gotten the shots and everything, and he was asking $75 and I misread it. I thought it said 70, so I only had 70 with me, so I got her for a $5 discount. And I put her in my coat and I brought her home. He says she's Gator Pit, German Shepherd. I see Black Lab. What do you guys think? She looks like a Black Lab to me. She's got like this brown tint right here, if you guys can see it, in her fur. That's the German Shepherd. She definitely has pit in her. Her mom is a full-blooded pit bull, Gator Pit. You can see it really in her teeth. But there's definitely Black Lab in this dog. So, I'm going to get a DNA test. And I'm going to do it on my puppy. They actually have them where you can do it on your dogs, because he kept telling me she does not have Black Lab. I said, yes, she does. I had a Black Lab. She definitely has Black Lab in her. And I love it, though. I love her whole mixture. She's such a good puppy. She's just a bed hog. And she snores. Roni Pepperoni. She's my Roni Pepperoni. Well, hello, Brain. And then I call her Rotten Roni. When she's trying to pull me across the yard with her leash, that's when she's Rotten Roni. Her dad's name was Rocky, and her mom's name was Ebony. So I took both of the names, and yes, they actually have a scrambler online to mix names together, and Roni was one of the names, and that's how she got her name. I put Rocky and Ebony in a name scrambler, and I named her. And her owner used to be Ralph. So I thought, well, this is cool because she's got the R off of her ex-owner. So, yeah, that's how Roni was born. A name scrambler from Google. Or Roni Baloney. Hi, Roni. Come here, baby girl. Kissy mommy. I do this. Puppy time. Give me puppy time. Give me puppy time. I do this to her. She knows what that means. You gonna give me puppy time. What, you don't like people on YouTube looking at you? You're gonna hide. See, I'm a good girl. How can you not see Black Lab in that face? She definitely has lab in her. I've had a golden labby and a Black Lab. She's just turned a year old, December 3rd. She's such a good puppy. Yeah, she's a good puppy, huh? She's a good girl. She's been really good. we haven't had any problems with her chewing up our tennis shoes or anything like that. She's gotten into my garbage a couple times and stole Q-tips. But we've been really fortunate with her. We kept her on. It's really hard keeping her in toys. Let's just say that. She's chewed through quite a bit. But she's got like a couple plastic ones she chews on. And we try not to do... they keep recalling bones. Like they'll tell you not to use rawhide. So we quit doing that. And then they had these bones. And this one kept splintering. And I didn't like the way she kept chewing on it. And it was splintering. Like she kept like... Then she would cough. So you got to be careful with like all the toys out there. But she's a chewer. So I found a couple rubber toys. I kept like, I even YouTubed what's a good chew toy for dogs, and they recommend that Kong stuff. But she had, I think she's got a plastic ball. She kept chewing the squeaky toys apart. So right now her two main, oh, hold on. Didn't mean to drop you guys. Her main toys are these ones. These are her two right now that she hasn't destroyed. Is this one here. It's a little ball she likes to chew on. And this is a Nerf dog toy. And then she's got this, it's called Dora Play. Little squeaky. And that's her little chew bin, but it's rubber toys. But I did a video on all the toys she's destroyed. And I have another one that's going to be coming up. The ones that don't last. She gets the ones with strings. Okay? She's something else. And if they're frayed on the end, like she takes the very tip of her teeth and she gets it until they come apart in her mouth, and she can't swallow that. You got to watch them with stuffing and stuff, because like I had a friend who they had a part, he was like a medium dog like her, and he got into stuffing and swallowed it. It cost them $400 to have that removed. He got real sick, and because all the stuffing got stuck in his intestines. So you have to be really careful. So I did a lot of studying. I did a lot of Googling on different styles, but a lot of the toys she didn't like. Like they have the Kong hard bones. She wasn't interested in those because they don't do anything. Like the squeaker toy, she usually drives us crazy at night with that one. And the ball she likes because it doesn't make noise, but she's ripped out. Oh my gosh. I can't even explain how many toys this dog's been through. Few of them we've got like at $1 at Walmart. But if they've got like any little part, like I had this one, it looks like a rubber, like a type of dinosaur. She chewed the feet off of it. And the only main toy that's outlasted her since we've gotten her, to be honest, was a dinosaur we got for our grandson. We have a Tyrannosaurus Rex in the living room, literally a full rubber one that was bigger than her when we first brought her home. She was like, you know, little. She like fit in my hand. And I brought that around the couch. She was only like yay high. And I brought this big dinosaur and I was going roar and stomping it at her. If you would have seen her face, she started yiping at it as a puppy and running from it because it was bigger than her. It was hysterical. And now she's bigger than the dinosaur. You know what I mean? So it's nothing to her now, but it was so comical because I did a video on it. I don't have it on YouTube, but I did a video. My puppy versus, how did I do that? Tyrannosaurus Rex. She's jumping, trying to bite its little hands. It was hysterical, that video. So then I did one later after she got older. And I said, versus, you know, Roni versus T-Rex now that she's older. And it's so funny because she's bigger than it now, and it's comical. But she has chewed and chewed. She's chewed the feet, the head, the teeth part of this T-Rex, and it was my 8-year-old grandson said he didn't want the toy anymore. I said, well, I hope not, because my dog, it became my dog's toy. And it's the only toy that's outlasted all of her other toys. She's had it the longest. And she just now chewed it to where it goes flat. She took the air out of it because she put a hole in it. And the little hands that T-Rex had, they're gone. She tore the little hands off of the top part, and we had to put him in the garbage, so he stands with holes now. You see this T-Rex. But since she was a puppy, I mean, the whole entire year. And me and my husband actually went into, I can't even remember where we got that dinosaur, but we went to went to Walmart places. We couldn't find it. I told him I probably have to Google rubber dinosaurs. But we can't find any more, because I'd like to have gotten her a couple more, but it's been the most adorable, real thick, but she's comical, but she loves her milk bones. Hi, Roni, you like your milk bones? The only thing that's bad though is we can't give her too many treats, because if we do, she doesn't want to eat her food. She gets filled up on her junk food and she won't eat her regular food. And finding the right dog food for her, that's another story. It's like you Google and you get like thousands. Number one, dog food changes every day. So then you go into reviews. Well, then this is where it gets interesting. You type in bad reviews against dog food, and you get every top brand and you don't know if it's really bad dog food or the competitors putting those bad reviews in, so you don't buy their food. You don't really know on the dog food, because Alpo's been around forever, but they're saying now it's killing dogs. Who knows? I don't know. But what we did was we talked to the vet, and really the best food, honestly, we found a vet that we look up online, and our regular vet, and they said the best food you could possibly feed your animals is ones you cook yourselves. Well, who has time for that? Like rice and chicken and all that. So I found this one vet online, because our vet was like Blue Buffalo, things that we tried her on. But the thing is, she would eat it and then get sick of it. Like the first 2 cups you give her, she's like, okay, so we kept buying little bags. We didn't want to buy a big bag till we found out what she likes. So we did the Blue Buffalo. That didn't last. We did, I can't tell you how many brands. There was a Wild Wolf Wilderness one we tried. Didn't like that one after like 2 cups. And she just kept doing this. So finally I went online here recently again, and I found this forum where these people were talking about what I was saying. That a lot of the dog foods are becoming so vegan because of vegan people. They're putting, and I'm not knocking vegan people, don't get me wrong, but they're putting peas and vegetables and so many different things, the dog's not digesting it. This one guy said, my dog literally got sick and puked the pieces up like they just ate it, and it's not digesting. So he knocked one of the biggest ones out of the park, and they had a video of a vet talking, and they're like, what would you recommend? Because they're saying none of the store brands are the best. And she's like, and this one lady is like, well, if you picked a store brand, what would you recommend? And they said Purina Pure One. So, because they say when you buy good dog food for your dog, it should be hard and soft morsels. It should not be just hard or just soft. So, when I looked it up, it's got a mixture. It's got a soft and a hard. So, we brought that home, and it seems to be the hit right now. She went through a whole bag of, I think it was lamb and rice one by Pure One, and now she's working on the venison one. So this one here is the one that's working. And then Gainsburgers is what we used to feed our beagle. And it came in a pack. They're no longer around. They were back in the 90s. But they've remade it in a Purina. And it's called like Steak Bites or something. I don't know. It's in a bag, and there's a bunch of little pieces. So we put half of that in with our food, and we mix it up. So that's what her dog food's been. here lately. So far, it's been the biggest hit and the longest and the one she eats the most. So, but she looks good. I mean, it's not like she's malnutritioned or she's not getting her what she needs. So, hopefully this will stay her dog food because I'm tired of looking for a new food. But we've been to Walmart. We've been to the dollar store. We've actually been to the actual feed store for animals trying to find a good food for her. So we've swapped her in and out. It's crazy. So who's left in here? Who haven't I put to sleep? If anybody leaves, I'm not seeing their comments. Let's see comments. Okay. Yep, I see Pal's left the chicken broth. Yep. Freezing chicken broth might be a good thing. Maybe adding it to their food once in a while. So I missed all these good comments. By Pals. Yeah, my dog ripped fuzzy ones. She's ripped rubber ones. She's taken the squeaky part out. I can't tell you how many. We've had to hurry up and take it off of her. We definitely watch her when she eats her toys. Because somebody said that their dog swallowed a squeaky once. You don't want that getting stuck in her throat. That would be terrible. But she don't like nothing out of place. She'll eat pieces of carpet. Anything that's on the floor, she gulps. Eats leaves outside. So we have to watch everything she does. But anyways, who's left in here? Is it you living? Are you still in here? Wow, that was crazy. Like, I lost the whole screen. Everything went poof. Still says I have one viewer. She's something. I'm glad no trolls come in here today, though. It's been pretty peaceful, which is nice. Alrighty. Well, you guys take care, whoever's left. I got to take her outside, speaking of my ornery. I think she's ready to go to the bathroom. She's starting to get restless and moving her positions. So I'm going to post this video. And you guys have a nice day. Bye. Mwah.